Right now on NBC 26 Live at 10, political firestorm. President Donald Trump fires James Comey, the director of the FBI. The latest on this developing story.
And Brown County's proposed half-cent sales tax goes before village leaders in Ashwaubenon for a vote.
And we're riding along with the local police department as their new K-9 unit works at becoming an effective team serving and protecting. We begin with a breaking news update tonight. President Trump has fired FBI Director James Comey. Comey, a point of controversy for the comments he made during the election. Comments some saw as helping candidate Trump win the election. NBC's Blaine Alexander has more from the White House.
And good evening to you from the White House. We have just learned that FBI Director James Comey is out. He has been fired from his position by President Donald Trump, effective immediately. Now, according to a statement from White House spokesman Sean Spicer, this comes after a clear recommendation from Attorney General Jeff Sessions and the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein.
It is troubling that Attorney General Sessions, who had recused himself from the Russian investigation, played a role in firing the man leading it.
We obtained the letter that was sent to Comey from President Trump. That letter is dated today, and it says in part, "It is important that we choose a leader who is able to restore public trust and confidence to the FBI." The president also writes, "While I appreciate you informing me on 3 separate occasions that I am not under investigation, I agree that you are not able to effectively lead this bureau."
I regret that took place. The president does have that authority, so I respect that.
Now, Comey has been somewhat of a political lightning rod in the past few weeks. You'll remember former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, of course, publicly blamed Comey for essentially handing a very tight election to President Trump after Comey announced just days before the November election the discovery of thousands of emails, only to find later that there was no finding of criminal wrongdoing. Now, in that statement from the White House, the president calls this a new beginning for the crown jewel of law enforcement and says that a search for Comey's replacement will begin immediately. At the White House, Blaine Alexander, NBC News.
And as Blaine Alexander stated in the White House statement, the president did say that this is the new beginning for the FBI and says the search for Comey's replacement will begin immediately.
The proposed half-cent Brown County sales tax plan getting a big boost, the village of Ashwaubenon approving. The village board voted unanimously to endorse Brown County Executive Troy Schreckenbach's plan to use a 0.5% county sales tax for many county projects, including some of the costs of an expo center and using room tax money after 2029 to pay off the rest.
The plan that Troy Schreckenbach has laid out funds a lot of the stuff that the county needs, and it does not increase our county taxes on the property tax side, so it's I think a win-win for everybody in the community.
In 2016, Ashwaubenon brought in more than $5.5 million of room taxes in Brown County.
Governor Walker suggesting a new plan to restructure health care insurance for nearly 250,000 state employees. Walker's proposal would shift the health insurance model from one where the state pays premiums to insurers to cover state employees to one where the state would pay the workers' health care costs directly. The governor says by making this change, the state could save at least $60 million.
If you want to play politics, you should run for office. You want to run for governor? Run for governor.
Our cameras captured this heated exchange last week between Governor Walker and Allegheny County Executive Tom Nelson over the American Health Care Act. Today we spoke with both men about the incident.
I wanted to talk to him about this and wanted to make sure that he understands the gravity of this issue and what it would mean for those 300,000 people in Northeast Wisconsin alone, who have a pre-existing condition.
Tom Nelson only approaches me when he's in front of a TV camera. Almost every other elected official, Democrat and Republican in the state, who's earnest, who actually cares about what they do, calls me, writes me, sets up meetings with me.
Walker says he'll consider the health care bill as it moves through the Senate.
A Greenville town chairman says the town board is investigating a ditch dredging project. Allegheny County zoning administrator Tim Roach says the dredging project did not have proper permits from the county, the DNR, and the Army Corps of Engineers. He says it shouldn't have gone forward because the karst was protected under a 2025 agreement between the county and the town of Greenville.
It could be bad where there would be more groundwater, a higher flow opening up into that karst feature, which could impact the groundwater and wells in the area.
Myself nor none of the other town board members knew of this project. There's particular town staff that were aware of this project that carried it forward without town board approval.
Chairman Anderson says disciplinary actions could be taken.
After a cool day, we are currently experiencing a mild night across central and eastern Wisconsin with temperatures mainly in the 50s. It was cool today because we had a lot of clouds, and it's mild tonight because we have a lot of clouds acting like a blanket. So we're going to be trading in some frost for some showers. The clouds are producing rain here across west central Wisconsin back into southeastern Minnesota, and this activity is headed our way. Here's a look at your bus stop forecast. It'll be gone by the time we get to tomorrow morning. So rain during the early morning hours, and then the skies will break up a little bit. Sun and clouds, and already around 50 tomorrow morning, and then warm by the final bell with increasing and thickening clouds. Temperatures will be in the 60s to around 70 degrees. Cassandra?
All right, thanks, Cameron. New information tonight out of Manitowoc, where police are deciding what to do next about a pit bull they say has a violent history. Police were called to an altercation between a pit bull and a Labrador yesterday. They say the lab's owner tried breaking up the dogs but was unsuccessful, so another neighbor had to shoot the pit bull. Manitowoc police say a dog can be removed from the city depending on the severity of the attack.
At this time, we're not pursuing anything criminal because of the actions that were taken. The investigating officers believed everything was justified at that time.
Detective Trilling said he's not discouraging people from taking their dogs out. It's best to keep an eye on them and always make sure they're on a leash. An airsoft gun causing several Green Bay schools, including Preble High School, to go into lockdown today after police received a call of suspicion of a weapon in a car. They were able to track down the suspects, recovering the airsoft gun, allowing classes to continue again as normal.
Story you'll only see here on NBC 26. The De Pere Police Department spent the last several months adjusting to life with a new canine unit. After bringing home Kurt in December, the four-legged officer is now a big part of the team.
Absolutely. NBC 26's Brooke Hafes went on a ride-along to see how the new canine has become part of the department's family.
Officer Merstick spent 7 weeks in New Mexico training to handle the new canine officer for the De Pere Police Department. Now, 5 months later, the two have developed a sense of trust and understanding, and their teamwork helps keep everyone in the community safe.
Yeah, that's a good boy.
Officer Merstick and his canine Kurt are inseparable. The two spend every day together, whether they are working or not. Officer Merstick says bringing a canine into his life has helped bring a sense of security he never knew he was missing. Kurt is a dual-purpose canine capable of tracking suspects and sniffing out narcotics.
He's very driven. He's got a very high intensity for his job.
The 2-year-old German Shepherd is obedient and responds to a set of commands given by Officer Merstick.
Stay still, please.
Officer Merstick says they train together at least 1 hour every single day so that when a situation does arise, they're ready. We joined in on a training exercise where they apprehended a suspect hiding in an empty building at St. Norbert College.
Get your dog off of me!
Seeing Kurt in action brings Officer Merstick great joy and pride.
It's putting all of your hard work and, you know, the dedication that you have, because it's a lot of time, it's a lot of your own time.
Another training exercise the two practice often includes setting up a track filled with scents. Kurt follows the smells and finds his way to the desired find with ease.
Oh, that's a good boy!
He wants to make sure Kurt is never met with a scenario in the field that he's never encountered before. Officer Merstick recalled one of their first tracks together as a team. They were called to Oneida to locate a hiding suspect with outstanding warrants. It is one of more than 40 canine deployments the pair has done together. Their hard work paying off to give positive results.
The amount of joy that brought me surpassed anything I could have thought of. you know, in this job.
Having Kurt by his side has brought another level of comfort, not only for himself, but for his other officers as well.
You know, Kurt's watching as the officers are of any threats or dangers, so I mean, that's reassurance to the officers.
Good boy.
The total startup cost of a K9 is almost $20,000. Officers at the department say the investment is worth every penny for the safety of its officers and the community. With photojournalist Matt Coles, I'm Brooke Hafes, NBC 26.
Certainly a good addition to the department. Now, the De Pere Police Department is always looking for funds to help support their K9 unit. We do have a link to donate on our website at NBC26.com.
Well, coming up, we're telling the stories of small towns here in Northeast Wisconsin, shining a spotlight on the Wolf River, featuring a very rare sight to see.
And a local college softball team preparing for the 2017 NCAA Division III softball tournament. Hear from them in sports.
You are connected to NBC 26 News at 10 with Cassandra Duvall, Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland, and Sports Director Charlie Sagaitis. NBC 26 News at 10, keeping you connected. And now, your Storm Shield forecast with NBC 26 Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland.
After 6 mainly sunny days in a row, the clouds return today, and so did the much cooler temperatures. But it's going to warm up tomorrow because we're going to see some more sunshine. Look at that. It looks like it's going to be our warmest day in about a week, with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. We will cool down behind the system moving through tomorrow with northeast winds. It looks like highs mainly in the upper 50s to lower 60s as we work through the weekend into early next week. Right now, across northeast Wisconsin, temperatures range from the mid 40s to the lower 50s, so no teens tonight, no 20s. No 30s. The clouds that we have overhead are going to keep us much, much warmer. Most of us will only see lows in the 40s. Right now in Appleton, it is 48 degrees. In Green Bay, we're holding on to 53 with cloudy conditions and south winds at around 5 miles per hour. We had a few showers earlier this morning and then dry weather underneath the clouds all day long, but now we have an area of showers pushing through western Wisconsin. This will quickly move through northeast Wisconsin as we make our way through the early morning hours. Today's main weather make was an area of low pressure to our south, producing all the clouds. We have a weak little system sliding through tonight. Then we get a weak ridge of high pressure moving through tomorrow morning, and then another system moves through tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. So the weather is moving very quickly across the northern part of the country. With the clouds today, we were cool. But where we had a mixture of sun and clouds to our west today, it was much warmer. Temperatures were in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Today was another cool day, as I've mentioned several times. High temperatures have been at or below normal 12 of the last 13 days, but it looks like we're going to get a break tomorrow from the cooler weather. High temperatures will actually be above normal for a change, with most of us seeing mid to upper 60s or lower 70s. Southeast winds will keep it a little bit cooler near the shoreline of Lake Michigan, but even there, temperatures will be warmer than what we've been seeing lately. We're going to see sunshine mixing with a lot of clouds. Eventually, the clouds win out as that next system moves in tomorrow evening. Here's a look at SkyCast showing mostly cloudy skies right now. Here comes that weak little system during the early morning hours, producing a couple of showers. Behind it tomorrow morning, sunshine mixing with clouds. We'll see that as we head into the early afternoon. And then that next system pushes through tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and into Thursday with more clouds and the chance for some showers. On Thursday, as the system starts to pull away, we will see a northeast wind develop once again, and that means we will cool back down just a bit, at least compared to what we're going to see tomorrow. So tonight, mostly cloudy, a few showers, much warmer than the last several nights. Temperatures only dropping down into the 40s. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, eventually giving way to clouds. We'll have a chance for a shower late in the day, a good chance for showers as we head into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. My 3-degree guarantee for tomorrow is 69. If I can hit that high within 3 degrees, we will donate $100 to the Community Pantry of Pulaski, and we did that today. I forecast 55. The actual high temperature was 57 degrees. As we move into Thursday, look for a lot of clouds. Chance for a couple of showers, especially early, cooler. Temps ranging from the mid-50s to the mid-60s. I'll call it 60. Sun and clouds on Friday. A very slight chance for a shower. Most of us will be dry. And then as we head through Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it looks like on and off chances for a shower or two. Otherwise, sun and clouds. Temperatures will be cooler than normal. But if you guys look at Tuesday, you can see I'm forecasting upper 60s. And Tuesday appears to be the day that we start to change this weather pattern around just a bit. It's been a very cool May so far, but it looks like next week that is going to change. We're going to start getting more summer-like here. It looks that way right now, based on everything I'm, kind of been looking at all day.
Then jumping into summer.
Well, I don't know about jumping into summer, but certainly feeling more like late spring than
we'll
early
walk
to mid-spring.
into summer. How about that?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, thanks, Cameron. Well, after the break, we are taking you to tourists for miles around. There is a great big reason why this time of year there is a traffic jam in Shiocton.
And the Lady Knights of St. Norbert College are a young team, but now they're on the big stage.
Tonight we debut our new series, Small Towns. It's a chance for us to share stories from your community, putting your town on the map.
Tonight we focus on sturgeon spawning, an event unique not only to the country, but the entire world. In recent years, the spawning run has been growing in popularity, drawing thousands to our region for the sight.
NBC 26's Eric Kress takes us to Shiocton for tonight's story.
Every spring in Shiocton, the Wolf River carries some new company to this community of 900 people. The welcoming party for the thousands of sturgeon
I took them out of school for the day and we did a little field trip.
Spills onto the shore and into the streets.
We came up a couple of years ago. Traffic was stopped dead still on 54 and there were police directing traffic. In Shiocton, Wisconsin, there's a traffic jam where it brought traffic to a halt. And unless you saw it, you probably wouldn't believe it.
For many of the visitors, many who will wait years to spear one of these fish in the dead of winter.
It's just a great way to test your patience, too.
This is a rare sight to see.
You do wait years to see them on the big lakes through the ice holes, to be able to see them like this. It's just neat to see.
What I was surprised to learn is that this is perhaps the foremost sturgeon watching place in the United States.
For just a few days each year, typically in April.
The majority of them probably weigh more than me.
You can watch something that most
They kind of look like mini sharks.
Will never have the opportunity to see in person. Just below the surface and occasionally coming just above too.
Fish, fish, fish.
Right there, right there, right there.
In just a handful of spots across the state.
We might never get to see this again.
Sturgeon are making more sturgeon, contributing to a storyline you'll likely only hear about in northeast Wisconsin.
See it? Yeah.
They come here to lay eggs on these special banks managed just for them, leaving thousands of future stories in their wake.
Or even next year. They could be down in Lake Winnebago. That's what's so amazing.
And with many of these sightseers knowing it could be years until they get this close to a sturgeon again, they'll have to get their fish stories straight.
Some of them might not believe that I saw like 100-pound fish.
In Shiocton with photographer Josh Visti, I'm Eric Kress, covering small towns for NBC 26.
Now, of course, everyone and every town has a very unique story to share, and we would love to hear about one of your kind stories. Shoot us an email at smalltownstories@nbc26.com and help us tell your small town story. Sports is up next. You're watching NBC 26 live at 10.